goes out to all my millions of listeners. I missed you last week. www.newstalkcleveland.com. Do you hear me in Russia? Don't send me none of that fake news. Do you hear me in China? Do you hear me in North Carolina, my hometown? Oh! France, how you doing over there? Oui, monsieur. Parlez-vous français? Ooh, a gun. I was 18, 19. You give a young man a gun, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. What do you expect? Give him some alcohol. Give him some a little high. Give him some good rap music. What do you expect? So I understand you all condemnation, but I'm telling you, man, the powers that be know that if you give a young man, a young black man, a gun, some havoc is going to happen. I'm a clear witness of that. And so the moral of my story is, after I shot Popeye, I gave my guns away. I said, I realized that I'm a fool with a gun, got a temper, and I gave them away. And that's why I'm living today, because I realized that. Now, go on with y'all comments. I just want to testify on the young side. I know.
Go ahead. You're a guest, visiting guest here.
Thank you. How did these young people acquire the gun? How did they acquire the gun? What did they think a gun would do?
That's what I'm thinking. You know when you shoot a gun, a bullet is gonna come out. You know if that bullet hits someone, they may die.
Wait a minute.
It's not complicated.
It is complicated. You're making it more complicated because listen, you're looking at it from a wise wisdom standpoint point of view. I'm looking at it from a youth. So I'm looking at it from
people get a gun.
A 12-year-old. You telling me?
Do in the first
wait a minute.
place.
A 12, 13-year-old really know what it'll do?
Yes.
Not really. Not really.
Why would they have it if they did?
Okay, I'll give you another perspective.
Why would they have the gun in the first place?
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
And I can take this further up to other young men. The reason, because I asked that question, I said, why y'all have to have a gun? You know, they say this. They say everybody else got one in the neighborhood. Wait a minute, I'm gonna let you. Wait,
I know where you're going.
Everybody else in the neighborhood got one in the neighborhood. I gotta walk down these main streets. I'd rather have it than to not have it. And when they explained it to me like that, I said, that makes
different.
sense.
The situation you gave her yourself and this situation on the 116th.
It's not different because, I'm through with this, you can have it. It's not different because a young man in our community today feels safer with a gun, whether illegal or not, whether he's going to reap havoc or not. He feels safer with it than without it. I'm sorry, that's just the time of my time.
Well, it's different because we're looking at it like self-defense. And that's what you're saying. We need it because other people have it. Okay, case in your point. You didn't need to defend yourself. You just used it when the two examples you gave. The instance on 116th, they were just shooting. They weren't getting shot at, so they didn't need to defend themselves. So it's a different situation.
No, I was giving you the situation about why so many young men carry guns. Right. But now, I'm going to take you back to the real situation. Listen, you get some 16, 17, 15-year-olds with guns in a car, getting high, drinking and smoking, listening to some good rap music. What in the heck do you expect? The white man knows this. What in the heck? Listen, you're going to make me cuss because you're making this too simple.
But you don't think they know that?
Who?
Whoever's doing it.
The young people.
How can you there's no way you can say these people are not consciously aware of the consequences. You can say that they might not understand it on a deeper level. I'll agree with you on that. But just to say, okay, we're riding around, we're hot, we got a gun, we're smoking, whatever we're doing, you just know, because when people do this stuff, they joke about it, they talk about it later. Like, oh, that was crazy, or oh, we couldn't believe, or oh, we almost got caught. People know what they're doing. They know.
All right, let me give you one more scenario.
Okay.
You never drank, have you?
I never drank.
Yeah, drink wine or MD or none of that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You ever
Wild Irish Rose?
All right. So you know how a high mess up your mind, right?
Yeah, I didn't say I was a church boy.
Okay, all right. So listen to me now. So in our community, you understand, the end thing is getting high, right? Whatever it might be, the end thing is getting high, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you're escaping, you're getting high, and then you got a gun. You don't think some stupid stuff gonna happen?
That's not what I'm talking about.
Wait a minute, you're telling me that under these conditions, you're supposed to think like a rational human being? Is that what you're telling me? And young too?
The question.
No, I'm not.
Of course you're not going to think in the middle of that. What I'm saying is you're not high 24/7, 365. So when you come down from that high, you're going to realize that was stupid. That's why I say they joke about it, they talk about it. Oh, we almost got caught, or word get around such and such did this and they did this. Oh, that was funny, or oh, that was crazy. That's what I'm saying. People know that. They just think it's a joke, or they don't think it's as serious as it is. But as many people that went to jail, everybody knows somebody that went to jail. Everybody's affected by it. They know.
You're a rational thinker, and I can understand it. I understand where you're coming from. I like that perspective too. Before all my lines are lit up, before I go back to them, Brother Marshall, I will give you the last word. Hey. You can do anything but cuss me out.
Hey, don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
Perfect.
They catch you, what do you think is going to happen? What do you actually think is going to happen in this world if they catch you and you know who they are? What's going to happen? You going to cry the blues? You going to cry to your mama, your daddy, your auntie, your girl? Who are you going to cry to? Who's going to come and get you? Who's going to come and rehabilitate you? Who's going to love you? Who's going to care? Or should anyone care?
We're going to go straight to our phone lines. 216-578-1490. All our lines are lit up. Talk to me. Sorry to keep you waiting.
At the Justice Center, but I do want to leave you with one thought. And going back to what you just talked about, at the age of 12, I remember when I first had a pistol, and I thought then, hey, this is cool. If somebody bothers me, I could do this, that, and the other. I was drinking, I was smoking every day, and in between the wet, Wild Irish Rose was my personal drink. I was not thinking about consequences at all. It was older heads, though, who at the time, that's what's missing now, older heads would say, you never want to really use that. It's only if you have to because you go to prison. But I never thought about that. My thought process didn't start thinking rationally until the age of 16 and 17. And then again, around the age of 22, when I had to thank the Creator that I had to get that out my mindset and all the things that could have happened or went wrong. And there I would have been doing a 20, 30-year bid. And unfortunately, I would have been too high at the time to really think about, wow, this shouldn't have happened here and there. So you're right. If you do the crime, you end up doing the time. But sometimes those thought processes don't go through all the way around because I thought at that time I knew more than my mom and other elders at church and stuff like that. I'm just giving the example that sometimes the brain does not process until you get behind bars. Or in my thing, when I went to Palmerdale, it got drilled into me. Do you know what happened when you're high all the time? And when that broke down, I was like, oh, shoot. The age of 16, big change came about.
All right, brother. Good information.
All right, Sam. William Marshall, you still there?
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, I'm going to answer your question after I make this statement. Malik Booker's mother, Malik Booker was one of the guys that got shot over there off of Buckeye the other day. And this morning on the early morning news, she stated that her son had just got shot Tuesday. Before this incident, some dudes or some people shot at their house and he got grazed across the back. So he got shot Tuesday and got grazed. and now he's on a machine from this shooting last night. So I want people who may know something about that to hear this on your broadcast. That dude's on a machine right now, unless they just pulled him off in the last few hours trying to hang on. And here's the answer to your question, William Marshall. The reason people do that, particularly black men, teenage boys, is not because of an issue of immaturity most of the time. It's rarely an issue of immaturity. And it's rarely an issue of getting high. The high just gives them the courage to do it. Mm-hmm. It's because they have a weak appreciation for the value of life. They have a weak appreciation for the value of property and community civility. And they don't do it in certain neighborhoods because they don't feel comfortable doing it. They felt comfortable doing it there. They knew if they had tried to do that somewhere else, in some other neighborhoods, they couldn't feel the same level of comfortability because they wouldn't be able to get away with it. Art, you a very lucky dude, man. If you would smack somebody else in the face like that with that gun, you might not be here today.
Wait a minute. You make a very good point.
Todd making sense.
No, it's not. Because the reason it's not making sense is because most of these young men never get out of that neighborhood. So how in the heck you gonna do something in another neighborhood when all you know is your neighborhood? And if all you know is your neighborhood, that's what's gonna happen in your neighborhood. So that don't make no sense.
It does make sense. It's not all you know, it's all that you pay attention to.
He can't do it. They don't go nowhere else.
If you could get on a bus or to Rapid or just walk to other neighborhoods and other libraries and other school functions, then you have access to the environment that makes you better. Most of the people that live in that neighborhood ain't acting like that.
Listen, you know what? You know what? You all have been brainwashed by the white man just like these children have. That's why they do what they do. Because you all you old schools are brainwashed the same way they are. This is a systematic thing that's been brought on by the man. That's why these kids and you can't expect these kids to pull themselves up by the bootstrap when all they know is this filth. When all they know is this depression. When all they know is this property ghetto.
You gotta give them Come on, man. Come on now. Talk to me. You gotta give them more credit than that, man.
What do you mean give more credit?
These are human beings, and most of them are usually okay people. We can't paint this demonic, apocalyptic, hellish,
I'm painting it as systematic racism. That's what I'm painting.
But you saying all they know is this. All they know is
that's all they know.
All they know.
That's all they know.
That's
all they know.
How do you know that?
Because I'm from the hood. I live in the hood. I'm not on
everybody in the hood.
I'm not on no Apple Tower like you are.
But that's not everybody.
You understand? But those that's creating the havoc, they are affecting everybody in the community.
We're not disagreeing with that, but I think they got a little bit more common sense.
Todd, I gotta go. All my life to let up.
This is important, Art. Let me say one more thing.
You want to say something to Mr. Marshall? Say it.
Let me say one more thing. Me and Al are around the same age. I think Al might be a little bit older than me. But when I was 12 years old in the city of Cleveland, in my black neighborhood, I was playing Muni League ball, playing baseball, and running track and doing swimming. When I was 16 years old, I was on a varsity team.
Okay, God bless you. God bless you.
Public schools.
God bless you.
So were thousands of other kids.
God bless you.
Just like they are right now.
God bless you.
Just like they are right now. Even in that.
God bless you. My son is in the football game, but there's so many of our lost youth that I'm addressing. I'm not addressing.
Those dudes ain't lost. They just didn't care.
Okay, all right. Then you don't know nothing about. You don't know nothing about systematic racism.
I know more about it than you. Apparently, you're lucky to be alive.
I can't tell.
In the face with a gun, man.
I can't tell.
You sound like you're proud of it.
I can't tell. Listen,
you sound like you're proud of it.
I tell the truth.
I don't think he's proud of it.
Listen, Todd. For your information, I tell the truth, and I make it rain whether you like it or anybody else like it. Listen, one day you're gonna be listening to this radio show, Todd, and I'm not gonna be on this show. And you're going to want to say, what happened to Art McCoy? You remember one thing. It's not because I stole nothing or because I robbed nothing. It's because I keep it real, and sometimes I make it rain, and I tell the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And some people don't like the truth, and one day I might be gone. You remember the reason I'm gone, because this is the only show that's verbally able to tell you how to make it rain and keep it real. And let me tell you,
did that because they felt comfortable.
and let me tell you, and that's why you listen to this show. All right, that's why you listen to this show, Todd. But let me tell you something right now. My mentor, Ray Davis from WTAM. Listen, I didn't audition for a radio job. You understand? Ray Davis, the program director at WTAM, a white boy. He called me up one Christmas Eve and said, "Hey, Art, you understand? I want to do this new show on WTAM 1100 on Sunday, and I want you to be the host." I said, "Me, Ray Davis?" He said, "Yeah, I don't have no. I ain't with Ohio State for Ohio broadcasting." He said, "Yeah, but you're the perfect one for it." All right. A white boy, you understand, called me in to do the show because he saw that I keep it real and I make it rain.
Hey, man,
hey, come on, man. Hey,
these last two things.
Listen, brother, you got to pay attention, all right?
Last two things.
Thank. No, ain't no last two things. Ain't no last two things, brother. I got to move on.
You can keep it real, but you can still be wrong sometimes.
Listen. There's no problem about that. I'm talking about history. Mm-hmm. You understand? So you understand? A white boy, Ray Davis from WTAM, put me on the radio. All right, because he knew that I keep it real and I make it rain. All right. Never before had they had a black guy on that radio station doing that show. All right. The rating, they didn't have no ratings when I came on there for that time slot. And they didn't expect no ratings because they didn't know nobody could be as good as me, thank God. But when I got through with that show, I was getting 13, 14 rating books. Trevor Sana and all of them say, "Hey, this black guy is rolling. Is rolling," you understand? So in other words, I got a gift from God to what I do, and I want to thank God. I'm not boasting. I want to thank God. I lasted on that show for 10 years. Number one. But I'm so thankful to be here on 1490 WERE. You understand? Because I'm going to keep it real and I'm going to make it rain. You know why? Because, listen, my family is noted for Alzheimer's. All right? My brother had Alzheimer's. My father had Alzheimer's. My aunt and uncles had Alzheimer's. One day, I might get Alzheimer's and come on the radio and So while I'm here, I must take advantage of this and tell the truth and make it rain.
Again, it's not a white or black issue. Yes, things are a little bit more difficult in the hood, but the whites get in trouble just as bad.
Tony.
Yes, sir.
That's a lie.
Yeah. It's not a lie.
That's a lie, Tony.
It's not a lie. If you black or white, you need somebody to help you.
I agree with you 100%, Tony. And you know what, Tony? You introduced yourself right. You said you're coming from a white perspective. I like that.
It's true. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and I'm coming on the air again, as I always do. Love you. Tony Masasha, Flash.
Tony. Hey, Tony.
Yes, sir.
I know you're on Flashport, and I know you do all the restaurants. Listen, there is going to be a crime around here. You're going to get a knuckle sandwich because you ain't never bought no restaurant food in here. So the next time I hear your voice, if you don't want to be a part of a crime, you have some food in here, Tony.
You got it, Eric. Next time I come in, we'll do that. We'll do another review on one of the restaurants in the area. Matter of fact, we'll go to George's on 21st.
Tony, talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. We hungry, okay?
You got it. Thanks again, Art. Have a great evening.
Bye. Yes, hello there. Talk to me. 216-578-1490.
Yes, this is Art McCoy's Heavenly Brother Cole. Hello to everyone.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, this is Rossi. It's pretty difficult to get in tonight. Pretty busy show. I agree with everything you said about how black people are in the neighborhoods. But I have a solution.
Yes, sir.
So for so long, we've been telling our children they have to go to college. But I think that they should try to get a trade and take the gun out the kids' hands and put a hammer there. Teach them how to build stuff. When you ride down the street and ride by and say Cleveland Clinic, all you see is white guys working. They don't have a college degree. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, sir. I'm listening to you. I agree.
So I think it would be excellent idea to do a show about how we teach our kids. We teach our kids to go to college. After they finish college, then they go off into the suburbs. They take all their assets to the suburbs. Teach them to come back to the inner city and build the inner city up rather than go into those suburbs where they don't even have a voice. So I suggest that I know this is kind of a fast talk here, but I suggest that we try to channel our kids into a different direction. Perhaps that might work.